Why have you stopped?
This is a nice spot for a private chat.
Shall we, sir?
Let's do it.
What are you up to?
Someone help me!
Some privacy at last. So, tell me, why have you come to seek this old man's counsel?
I came to discuss the future of the Kremnoans.
Interesting. I heard the core flame of the Lance of Fury has been restored, though not by your hand. And you're even considering giving up Nikador's divine power. Is this true?
Those rumors are not entirely groundless.
In other words, you did entertain the thought of giving up the throne of Kremnos and forsaking your people.
The divine power is not equivalent to the throne. The path of strife is also not our people's only way.
Enough with the word games. You, of all people, should understand the plight of the Kremnoans. Think about all the warriors of the Kremnoan detachment who left their homeland with you. Think about their children. Only the yearning for our former glory days has kept us going all this time. If they ever learn that the crown prince they look up to so much is actually toying with the notion of stepping down, think of the disgrace it would bring upon your departed mother, Mydeimos. You best remember that she died for you because of Europon's schemes to restore the glory of Kremnos.
Since you've brought that up, tell me, who is responsible for my father's death?
Are you trying to shame me, Mydeimos? I may be old, but I haven't become so decrepit that I've forgotten it all. Of course I remember that Europon died when the Kremnoan detachment surrounded him. You drove the spear into his chest with your very own hands.
That was merely the final outcome. Do you still not see it? What led my parents and our people to their downfall is none other than the strife we speak of. The quest for glory. The tenet of valorous death before glorious return. This is the creed of every Kremnoan, no matter whether these beliefs are justified or not.
Don't be ridiculous. The only thing that could slay a king is a spear. Even an infant knows that much. I swore to your mother that I would guard your crown with my life. I never foresaw that the son of Gorgo himself would be the first to turn his back on the Kremnoan spirit. Gorgo. Your mother bore that name. The name of the great founder of Castrum Kremnos. And she upheld that name with honor. If you choose to turn your back on her legacy, like a wretched deserter, do not fault me for withholding my loyalty, Mydeimos.
I came to discuss the future of our people with you. But it appears this is not the right time yet.
Go, mighty. Ha! That's what those Chrysos heirs call you, isn't it? Go down the path you have deemed correct. Deep down, you have always been one to do as you please. And I am well aware that no one can deter you once you've made up your mind. But don't you ever dream of renouncing the traditions of Kremnos. We may reside in Akama now, but we remain eternally bound to strife by blood.
Bloodlines no longer hold any significance in this era of destruction.
My young lord, always bear this in mind. Never reveal your vulnerabilities to anyone. A lion should never dwell amidst its prey. Especially when it wields power enough to dominate the entire hunting ground.
Euripon, the boy did nothing wrong! This is murder! Do not sully the noble name of Kremnos with the blood of an innocent child! You mustn't reveal your weaknesses to the enemy!
Enough! My decision is final. We must use this child's life to preserve the soul of the great Nikador. We must save Castrum Kremnos.
Don't be absurd! Those tiny hands lack the strength to even lift a spear. Do you truly believe him a threat to Castrum Kremnos? You'll be ending the bloodline of Kremnos if you do this. Our millennia-old glory will become nothing more than a joke.
Have you forgotten that we Kremnoans place no value in bloodlines? It is through pure bloodshed and slaughter that the kings of Kremnos have ascended to the throne. As for our millennia-old glory, it has always been a joke in my eyes. Glorify it all you want, but it will not alter the nature of slaughter. Those who revel in it are but murderers. They are no more noble than the most monstrous beasts in Amphorius.
Enough with your words! Among all the kings of Kremnos, which one did not inherit the crown only after plucking it from the lifeless body of his father? But listen to yourself now. Do you truly believe you can cleanse the blood from your hands through mere words alone?
Nay, quite the contrary. I will end this cycle of bloodshed. Starting with this child. With these blood-stained hands, I will end it all.
Your failure is inevitable, Euripon. You are just a coward who can only raise his blade against his own child! A beast that murders his own kin. Royal Wing Elites and Emperors of Kremnos! You cannot sit idly by and watch this atrocity unfold! If you consider yourselves the honorable sons and daughters of Gorgo, then take up your spears and join me in putting an end to this bloody charade!
Does anyone else have any objections? If so, come forward with your spear and prove your mettle.
Understood. 5, 4,
3. No one dare stand by my side. Cowards! Has that crown stripped you of your courage? 2. One.
It appears there are no objections. Then, in accordance with the Kremnoan Council's principle of tacit consent, the decision is final. With all present as witnesses, this child shall descend into the Sea of Souls, where he will nourish the Lance of Fury and join the fallen heroes. May fate and the gods await your arrival. My son, Mydeimos.
Stop!
If you have more to say, then speak. On account of the life we have shared together, I grant you this one final chance.
With the Blade of Fury above us and the Council bearing witness, I, Gorgo, hereby move to challenge the crown in accordance with the laws of Kremnos. O unworthy king, in the name of the Council of Elders, I demand that you duel me!
Very well. We shall see who the Kremnoan blade strikes down.
Mydeimos. My son. They all tell me to forget. But how could I ever? The son of Gorgo will be crowned in blood. If there is no Kremnos without the crown, then I shall seize the crown and smash it to pieces to bring the people to their senses.
My old comrades. Hephaestion. Perdiccas. Ionius. Ptolemy. And Possesta. Ever since I returned from the Sea of Souls, these five have been by my side. We faced life and death together during our days in exile. Those 10 years were arduous, yet filled with moments worth treasuring. Each night, we would gather by the campfire, savoring honey brews and singing our hearts out. The wind in the wilds of Amphorius smelled like rust. Hephaestion would always tease me about adding goat milk to the honey brew, claiming I ruined the blood-red color of the drink. He had a scrawny figure, but was a relentless force on the battlefield, dispatching foes without so much as a blink. Perdiccas was an expert in concocting medicines, delving into all those strange folk remedies. Leonius was a swift runner and our most reliable messenger. Ptolemy was a real bookworm, always spouting off in chapters and verses. When we left Kremnos, he made off with a stack of ancient tomes from the Grand Library. Not like it mattered, as my family owns the library. And then there was Possesta. He was the silent type, but a truly masterful musician.
This is the first time I've heard you mention these five, and their names.
They died on the battlefield before the Kremnoan detachment managed to join Akuma. Perdiccas was the first to go. He was shot in the stomach by a poisonous arrow from the people of Ladon in the second month of cultivation. In the end, his remedies mended all but himself.
Mydeimos, do not mourn. I have achieved honor by bestowing a noble death upon the enemy.
Leonius died in the 5th winter. Idonia's snowstorm lasted 3 full months. On the night of the fiercest storm, our foes launched their assault.
Idonia. Is that the city Castorus used to live in?
Yes. Those zealots were as fearless as Kremnoans in the face of death, but they lacked respect for honor. They cornered us in the bottomless swamp. Leonius covered for our retreat. They cut his legs off. He vanished into the mire of a foreign land, his body never to be recovered.
This is perfect. Mydeimos, I can finally deliver the news of you ascending the throne to the Netherrealm.
20 dusks later, we finally breached the walls of Idonia and entertained the usurper's plea for peace. However, the rebels refused to surrender and set up an ambush within the city. Ptolemy and his cavalry met their end before they could even relish our triumph. Those obelisks that collapsed after being set on fire became their final resting place.
Mydeimos, please, tell my family. It was not cunning schemes that vanquished Ptolemy, but the immense weight of Amphorius' entire history.
Then, it was Pacesta. You lured the enemies into the city of Aeneonis with his melodies, buying us invaluable time. Our enemies, consumed by indignation when they discovered the trick, set the entire city and my soldiers on fire. His final words were recorded on a small clay tablet, fractured by the flames.
Mydeimos, don the crown.
And at last, my most trusted friend, Hephaestion. He was supposed to stand by my side through it all. But a sudden relapse of his illness hit him on the eve of my duel against my father. He hid his condition from me. By the time I returned victorious, he had but a breath left in him.
A Kremnoan, dying on a sickbed. I would be a laughingstock to everyone.
Hephaestion, my dear friend. Spare your strength. I'll go get a physician.
No need. Even if Perdiccas were here, he couldn't stop destiny from taking me away.
No! That can take you away.
Mydeimos, our king, do not shed tears for me. It's not befitting of your status. Farewell, my dear friend. You must lead us back home.
Crateros, what's going on?
Mydeimos. It seems I was the one who exposed my vulnerabilities first.
Aglaya, I demand an explanation.
This man abducted Trinan by force and forced her to bring him to the vortex of Genesis. He then brazenly stepped into the trial of the Lance of Fury, and naturally failed.
Is she telling the truth? Why did you do that?
Because I don't want to wait anymore. Your hesitation made me desperate. If you want to run away from your destiny to become king, then keep running. Someone will eventually stand up and fill in the gap left by strife. Then they will lead our people home.
Age has blinded you, teacher. Can't you see that I'm hesitating because of this very recklessness seared into your blood?
Crateros, do you truly believe you're worthy of entering the trial? To blaspheme against the prophecy? Does the mission we Chrysos heirs bear seem like child's play to you?
Do you know how the Kremnoans see you, Aglaya? You're a hypocrite and a megalomaniac. The prophecy of Genesis and the Flame Chase journey are just excuses for you to seize power.
Silence, Crateros. Do you even know what you're saying?
Are you defending this woman, Mydeimos? How many wars did people start because of her and her so-called prophecy? How many cities fell in the past millennium, their people massacring each other? Even if this so-called Genesis really exists, will there be a place for the Kremnoans in that new world?
Are you done talking? By agreement between the Chrysos heirs and the Council of Elders, those who trespass upon the Vortex of Genesis need not be tried by the Council. I am allowed to pass judgment alone. Krateros, your actions are unforgivable. I hereby sentence you.
Aggie, wait! We have a proposal! Someone has to resolve this conflict between the cities. Lord Krateros did not use violence to harm us. We can sense that his anxiety stems from his concern for his people's future. Please, Aglaya, hear us out first.
I'm listening.
I'm sorry, Lord Krateros. We were so preoccupied with deciphering the fragments of prophecy that we neglected those of you not favored by its message. Your accusations were harsh, but justified. We wish to earn your trust and those of the Kremnoans. I think the best way to do that is to take you to witness the source of the prophecy for yourself.
How are you going to show me something that has no form?
You've heard about that Outlander, right? She has somehow made a connection with Orynyx and can completely replicate scenes from the past. We will ask for her aid. Tomorrow, at the Abyss of Fate in the Temple of Yanisopolis, we will show you everything from that distant memory, Krateros.
A fair proposal. I accept.
Until then, you will be stripped of your freedom. That is my one condition, and I will brook no argument.
It is not the first time I've been made someone else's prisoner. Do as you please, demigod.
Teacher, why did you do this?
Forgive me, young master. But I just cannot wait any longer. Ever since your father died, our people and I have been waiting for a day to revive Kremnos. We placed all of our hopes in you, but never received an answer.
This obsession for returning home has become a sickness for our people. Wise as you are, I refuse to believe that you can't see the truth.
You have a clear head, which is why you're also incomparably alone. A smart person can only choose to tangle himself with the mundane of this world. If you're truly capable of leading our people beyond this blood-stained fate, then prove it to me once more, Mydeimos. Just as you did back then.
A fierce fighter. I did not expect such heroism from a feeble Acheman. Fulfill your duty as the victor, warrior, and tell me your name. I seek an honorable death from you.
As if you have any honor! Listen closely. I am the leader of the Kremnoan detachment, Mydeimos. I'm here to finish you, Father.
It is you, the beast spurned by all. So you did define death. The prophecy was true. You will bring an end to my Kremnoan dynasty.
Defy? You're wrong. Death fears me. It's the reason I have this body of steel. As for you, you already stand at death's door, Father. You were the one who threw me into the Sea of Souls. The one who tried in vain to enslave a Titan. And the one who desecrated the body of a god. Hyakis! You're a weak king. So weak that even the lowliest hyena is a more noble existence than you. And now, fate's reckoning is upon you.
Then swing your blade. Take my crown. Coronate yourself with an old king's blood and inherit it all. Become the new rightful king of Kremnos.
No. I don't want the crown. Listen. If there's only one end for the kings of Kremnos, then the crown means nothing to me. All I want is your life. To avenge Mother and my comrades.
But the walls of Kremnos will not fall with me. Do you truly think you can escape fate's grasp, my son? You and I, we're both the same. We feast on strife and fear. Now, kill me! The son of Torgo is destined to be crowned in blood!
He said the Grand Craftsman Cartonus might have some suggestions. Might as well go see him. Grand Craftsman, how have you been?
King of Kremnos it is. That you would come, I knew.
You knew I was coming?
Your matters, I've heard. The path forward you seek. Many questions you have. But before that, take this.
What's this?
A signet ring. For the King of Kremnos. Belonged to your mother. Recast and restore it. I did.
What? Mother threw it into the Sea of Souls.
A long time to fish out it took. Very fortunate we were.
I can hardly imagine how much patience and courage it must have taken to find such a small signet ring in the Sea of Souls. I owe you one.
Gratitude there is no need for. Repayment for saving me, this is. Questions you bring with you? Ask, now.
Fate I've always denied. It's finally caught up to me. By all rights, I should accept Strife's authority. It would make everyone happy. The Chrysos heirs, the Council of Elders, the Kremnoans. Even the bards who will write it all into song.
Yet hesitate still you do. Hesitate, why do you, young king?
Because of my people. Be they men, women, the elderly or children. The hearts of all Kremnoans yearn for home. They've all been waiting for this day. For the day their king returns. Children of Strife would then be able to go home and embrace the old traditions. Never mind that most of them have only ever been heard in these so-called traditions in song. They would then gather around their king and throw themselves into battle.
This is not a good thing, you believe.
Kremnoans have been trapped in a cycle of bloodshed for the past 1,000 years. They seek vengeance, start wars, become prosperous, and decline. How much innocent blood flowed into the River of Souls in all those years? How many needless sacrifices could we have avoided? I accept that fate, become the totem of strife, that lead my people into repeating the same mistakes. Then of course I would be terrified. I'd be terrified of becoming king.
A different kind of Kremnoan you truly are.
Farewell, my dear friend. You must lead us back home.
You and I, we're both the same. We feast on strife and fear.
If you're truly capable of leading our people beyond this blood-stained fate, then prove it to me once more, Mydeimos.
I knew you'd be here.
I heard you're about to set off on an expedition.
That's right. It's going to be a tough battle, and our destination turns out to be Castrum Kremnos.
Is that why you're here? To pray to the dead Nikador?
No, just the opposite. I'm here to tell you, you can entrust the front lines to us this time. You can't afford to lose your upcoming battle either.
Have you heard the story of Geocles the Mountain Breaker?
Sounds like you've spoken with Cartonus. That's the name of the legendary mountain dweller, right?
Let's have a chat before we go our separate ways. Cartonus told me that back in ancient times, the mountain dwellers lived in seclusion. They spent their days quarrying and gathering, living a simple and peaceful life away from strife. But Geocles was different. He resisted their traditional way of life, yearning for the world beyond the mountain. They're safe, but humdrum culture was like fetters around him.
He sounds a lot like you.
Yes, that is why he too faced the same dilemma as I do. One day, during one of Geocles' many ventures beyond the mountain, he spied a battalion of Lydonians stationed at the foot of the mountain. The Lydonians were at war with their arch-enemies, the Companions, and they used the mountain as a base to carry out guerrilla warfare operations. When Geocles, who had taught himself the common tongue, approached a soldier, he learned a shocking piece of news. Lydonians were planning to plant mines and explosives all over the mountain, and then lure their enemies within. With danger lurking with every step, the mountain dwellers' homes were no longer safe. Geocles quickly returned to his village to bring the news to his people. But
let me guess. They refused change and chose to put up with the situation instead.
That's right. The mountain dwellers were fearful of even the smallest change to their lifestyle, let alone leaving their home. Despite the imminent war, the elders would rather negotiate for peace instead of leaving the mountains. This made Geocles both angry and sad. But he didn't give up. If you were in his shoes, what would you have done?
Lead my people on a resistance, perhaps. I'm not sure. I can't think of a solution that would make everyone happy.
A solution that would make everyone happy, huh? That's how naive we are. Well, let me tell you what Geocles did. He took the Mountain Dweller's store of gemstones and traded them with the Ladonians for a massive amount of gunpowder. But he didn't do this to fight the Companions. Under the cover of night, he set ablaze the forest surrounding the settlement, forcing his people to flee the mountain. That great fire marked the beginning of Mountain Dweller history. Since then, their people became part of civilization, and giants became a common sight in the Holy City. Meanwhile, that mountain they once lived in has turned into little more than foam inside the black tide.
But leaving their homeland also brought many mountain dwellers misfortune.
They were hunted by Kremnoans or enslaved. Indeed, that is undeniably also part of their history. But that is Geocles for you. The merits of his actions, or lack thereof, have been scrutinized by many, but historians nevertheless hail him as the Mountain Breaker. Why do you think that is? It's simply because he took action and enacted change with his own hands. He didn't try to make everyone understand him, nor did he even waste time trying to make everyone happy. He started a great fire and burned the shackles of tradition to ashes, and then forced everyone to march toward the coming of a new era.
You've made up your mind, haven't you?
I'll be leaving Alchema soon to fight the great darkness of this world, and to shoulder Nikador's destiny. So, listen well. If there comes a day when we meet again on the battlefield, and I stand opposed to the flame chase, remember to stab your sword into my back through my 10th thoracic vertebra. That's my weak spot, and the only way to kill me.
You have my word.
Go now. The battlefield calls. Send that flame-thieving hyena to their death. But if you find yourselves with no other recourse, pray to that blade in the sky. Loudly call out the name of the new god.
Finally. Pent in the memories of the dead! Executioner! At long last.
How embarrassing.
You didn't come down from the sky?
This city is mine anyway. So why shouldn't I go through the front door? Minion of the Black Tide, I, King of the Kremnoan Legion, will be your opponent today.
Long time no see, Mikador.
Time to twirl! Equipped it together as one. Honored to meet me. Mimi. All things in the human creations. Expand your thinking. Time to twirl! Do you know who I... This big diamond! It's all yours! Curiosity? Endless riddle. Nothing but a boy. Time to twirl! Open sesame. What a crumb.
Such petty tricks.
Vanity leads to self-destruction. I am not sending a dynasty to its end.
Well fought. That was a good opener to the ceremony. We honor the fallen gods with this fight to the death.
What are you...
It's time to end this.
Heed my call! I am the Lance of Fury. The agony this world needs! Witness this. New God has come to Castrum Kremnos. I see the Reaper has forsaken you too, teacher.
It simply put my life in the hands of the Twilight Courtyard. That priest girl's medical talents are truly exceptional. She might be far from the ordinary girl we envisioned. But this isn't about me, Mydeimos. I saw it. You finally decided to embrace your own fate.
Power of strife is stirring a tempest within me as we speak. My bones have turned into steel, and my blood is seething in a blaze. Past rulers of Kremnos could only aspire to this might, yet I have merged with it. I've made history, and henceforth divinity and kingship shall coexist as one.
Indeed. You've realized the aspirations of every former king of Kremnos. And now, you can at last bring our people home and reforge the glory of Kremnos.
Unfortunately, I harbor no such desire.
What? What do you mean by that?
Over 2 millennia past, devotees of Nikador's might banded together beneath their feet and erected a city of their own. Ever since then, Kremnoans have served as the blades wielded by the god of war, following the Titan's path in its conquest. Yet, Gazing upon our history through the lens of my newfound divinity, I now see it with unprecedented clarity. This history is sheer absurdity and inferiority. People surge onto the battlefield like ants, plundering and slaying for their own greed, only to be trampled upon like ants. The city and the beliefs that Kremnoans hold so dearly, alongside the supposed tradition, mere anthills that can be crushed with a single touch in the eyes of the Titan.
You! Are you trying to strip Kremnoans of the pride we've amassed over thousands of years with mere words?
That pride holds little significance, Kratoros. Now that I've assumed the divinity of strife, my next step will be to renounce the title of king.
No. No!
Convey my message to every Kremnoan. This is an order.
Do not do this, Mydeimos! I beg you!
Our history commenced in the year 2506 of the Light Calendar, concluded in the year 4931. I, Mydeimos, last king of Castrum Kremnos, son of Gorgo, do hereby proclaim the Kremnoan dynasty comes to an official close today.
You have killed us. You have killed us all.
No. I am granting you a new beginning.
What is this?
My mother's signet ring. It served as a symbol of kingship, and I now imbue it with a fresh significance. Take it, and rally those who have lost their identities. Convey the words of Mydeimos, now ascended to divinity. You no longer need to chase fleeting honors or face death on the battlefield as if it were your sole destination. However, you must adapt to fit into the city you once observed with indifferent eyes. A cruel fate awaits Amphorius. No matter how illustrious a dynasty may seem, it crumbles to rubble and gravel before formidable foes. Yet, you shall tread the only path out, one that leads to a brand new world at its end.
Why task me with being your messenger? Why not explain all this to them yourself?
Because only humans can guide the path to be trodden by humans. It's not the lot of humans who crave the power of gods and spiral into madness for it. But humans who stand ready to raise their shields high to protect the lives behind them.
I failed to save that child.
That is irrelevant. As demigods, they have long been prepared for it. What truly matters is that you showed up there and shielded her.
The one who persuaded Aglaya to set me free that night. Was that you, Mydeimos?
Yes.
She's not one to easily make a concession. What did you offer her?
I staked my mother's name to guarantee the integrity of your soul to her. And I promised her that I would dedicate all I have to the Flame Chase journey.
And what is next, Mydeimos? Where will you be headed now?
To the place where I belong, to fulfill my promise. The madness that has plagued Nikador and the darkness that has consumed Amphorius. It's now my turn to fight against it. There are some people to meet with before I leave. Let's go.
And what is next, Mydeimos? Where will you be headed now?
You're here, Mydeimos. It seems that you are prepared.
Yes.
You aided Akima through yet another trying ordeal, and my gratitude knows no bounds.
Isn't that exactly what you wanted?
Not everything unfolds according to my plan. In the current state of the world, I can only proceed one step at a time. Furthermore, you are ready to dedicate all that you have, regardless of the promise you made to me, aren't you?
Throughout my time in the Holy City, I've gleaned valuable lessons from you. Strategy, leadership, and adaptability to change. Yet, it's only recently that I've come to realize the truly remarkable quality you possess.
And what is it?
It's the magnetic allure in your presence. It draws people to gather around you willingly, to seek your guidance. They strive not to disappoint you, not due to fear of repercussions, but out of sincere alignment with your ideals. That is precisely what every ruler of Castrum Kremnos has been missing.
I am truly honored to hear that. And now, Mydeimos, you have risen as the most powerful demigod in the world. How do you intend to wield this newfound power?
I shall see Nikador's aborted mission through to completion, and become the strongest bulwark for Amphorius to defend against the Black Tie. I will secure enough time for the Flame Chase journey, until you manage to lead everyone to reach the miracle of Genesis.
Mydeimos, a new chapter awaits Amphorius. Yet, the one who guides the people to the destination need not be you and I.
Huh. What did you see after assuming Nestia's divinity?
Despite the passage of 1,000 years, every word of that prophecy remains as vivid as ever. You shall have your final bath in warm and radiant gold.
Just as cryptic as all the other prophecies.
What's the reason for the laughter?
I was just thinking, if an ordinary person encountered these words, they would probably stay away from the baths for the rest of their life.
But I cannot forgo the delightful experience a bath offers. So, I assume you also glimpsed yours, Mydeimos?
One day, you shall die with a wound in your back.
Well, that is a rather straightforward scenario.
If I were to be terrified by drivel with no basis, I would not have attracted your gaze and joined the Flame Chase journey in the first place.
You speak the truth. May you be destined for a powerful fate, and may we reunite in the promised new world. Farewell, mighty. Farewell, mighty.
Is Lady Trebios not here?
Lord Mighty!
Hyacinth. So you are the physician Kradaros spoke of. It's no wonder then that he was pulled back from the brink of death. You have my gratitude.
I can take that as a compliment, right?
I've heard about what happened at the Grove. I'm deeply sorry for your loss.
I've heard far too much about death and grief recently. To quote Lady Treeby, we should all focus on tomorrow, shouldn't we?
That's a valid point. You've always been the most optimistic one among us.
Well, I must say, it feels quite incredible to see a new demigod standing right before me.
You should prepare yourself as well. Humanity has already taken hold of strife, and one day it will also reach the sky.
Do you really believe I can do it? Even my ancestor, that hero of legends, couldn't conquer the core flame of Aquila.
Given your good rapport with the demigods, you should know that the path to assuming divinity is never limited to swords and spears.
You've always been so perceptive, Lord Mighty. Rest assured, if fate has truly selected me, I'll be ready. Right. You are here looking for Lady Treby and Lady Trina, no? They're not around at the moment. Is there a message you'd like me to pass on to them?
No need. I've already bid farewell to Aglaya. Meeting with the Oracle is simply a matter of courtesy.
You've bid farewell?
I'm heading back to Castrum Kremnos to fight against the Black Tide. In all likelihood, I will never again return to Akuma.
Oh.
On second thought, there is something that I'd like you to help me convey to them.
I'm all ears, Lord Mighty. I'll make sure to convey every single word.
Tell them that there is no longer a need to send scouts behind enemy lines. With a single message, the Lance of Fury will target anyone who dares oppose Akuma.
Lord Mighty.
I'll be embracing my destiny before you do, Castorus.
Can you feel Thanatos right now?
I don't feel them at all, regrettably. You have been painstakingly seeking that Titan for so long. But have you ever considered reaching out to me for help?
You mean...
Death refused to ferry me. If you were to send me to the Netherrealm, I may uncover clues along the way back.
I would never do that, Lord Mighty. Death is not a game.
You're right. That may very well be the reason why my people have struggled for millennia. They underestimated the significance of death.
So, are you returning home alone, Lord Mighty?
Returning home, you say? Maybe. At this moment, Castrum Kremnos is not just my birthplace, but also my fated destination. Work harder, Castorus. Go and do what you have to do, so that the trials we have endured may have meaning.
I will, Lord Mighty. May we reunite on the other side, where the warm west wind blows.
The King of Kremnos, without the signet ring, but looking more like a king now.
I'm no longer the king, Grand Craftsman.
Matters not the title. Surpassed all former kings your achievements have.
I will honor your trust and liberate the world from the clutches of fear. Nevertheless, I must request that you continue to watch over Phainon, Cartonis. I have a feeling that his fate will weigh heavier than all of ours combined.
Keep Phainon in mind, I will. Return to your home, brave king. Together with everyone, I shall remain here. That thunder from Castrum Kremnos we wait to hear.
Outlanders? No. Trailblazers. I will soon make my way to Castrum Kremnos. If all goes according to plan, this may be our final meeting. I just want to let you know that I appreciate everything you have done for Amphorius. That means a lot to me. May success accompany your trailblazing wherever it leads. How about you let me guess what's on your mind? Are you drafting a sentimental farewell speech? Now that I bear the divine within me, I can get the vague feeling that you have a great significance for the future of Amphorius. With this departure, I fear that I will never again return. Can I entrust you both to watch my back, and to continue supporting the Flame Chase journey in my absence? You have my gratitude. Then, farewell. Yes? Sure, let's do it. Feels peculiar, I suppose. I'm not talking about your photographic skills. It's just that I rarely take photos. But this one, it's pretty good. I wish the same for you during your time in Amphorius.
Mydeimos isn't the prince anymore. He's now the guardian of Amphorius.
What's going on?
We salute the guardian of Amphorius.
We salute you. Farewell, savior of Kremnos.
It's been a while, Guardian.
I should have known you were the mastermind behind this.
Hey, don't go pointing fingers without cause. I swear I'm innocent this time. See those kids over there? They're the ones who brought everyone together.
I admit, that took me by surprise.
Were you seriously just going to sneak off without a word with me?
Well, I was actually on my way to bid farewell to you, but ended up running into this.
Oh, that's quite an honor, I suppose. We better not leave them waiting too long, don't you think?
The road to Castrum Kremnos from here is long. Perhaps it wouldn't be a bad idea to take a moment and etch their faces in my memory one last time. think I see more than just the Kremnoans here.
Yours, King of Kremnos. May triumph
You're now the
always be
guardian
yours,
of
King
Amphorius, after all. I'm thinking maybe it's about time the god of strife gets a new name. How about the god of solidarity or preservation? Dong Han mentioned that one today.
I recommend that you steer clear from any situation that calls for naming things.
I suppose strife still fits you better.
The black tide for us, Guardian.
Farewell, Mydeimos.
Please bend.
All right. It's about time for us to part ways. Any final goodbyes you want to share? This might be your last chance. Why so quiet? I thought divinity would wash away some of your sentiments.
Do you truly feel as carefree as you seem? Or is this just a facade you wear?
You know what? You sound just like a Gly at this moment. But you're not off the mark. I just thought that putting on a nonchalant front for this occasion might help us preserve some dignity.
I can see through your deception, even without the power of mind reading.
Am I really that terrible at controlling my facial expressions? Well, with that said, thank you for aiding me in defeating my archenemy, Mydeimos.
No need to thank me. This triumph brings no delight, nor does it signify closure. You understand that more than me.
Indeed. In the end, I still haven't unraveled the mystery behind that black-robed swordmaster. And I can't even ascertain their demise. Maybe I've never managed to cut off my destiny.
But that matters not. Pain may be cured, but scars remain. This should not be effaced. Even with the divine might of Ornyx, you cannot stop the past from leaving its marks in our blind spots. Can you genuinely let go of everything as soon as that swordmaster is dead? That's impossible. Revenge is merely an obligation that must be carried out, and no one can find mental fulfillment through it.
You're right.
Look forward. Chew up and swallow your past. And make sure emptiness and bitterness are not the only flavors you know. Remember that there is a whole world behind you waiting to be saved.
I will keep that in mind.
I have a final favor to ask. Please look after the Kremnoan warriors in my absence. They will undoubtedly face challenges while assimilating into Akama. It is my sole regret that I cannot stand by them during this time.
Do not worry. Leave it to me. And, while I'm at it, I'm going to find out if the Kremnoan language is really missing that many words.
The Kremnoan philosophy can never be encapsulated in a mere dictionary. But if there's a chance in the next life, you should come visit my library. I'll be on my way, Deliverer. Remember to stay alive till the final act.
Yes. Same goes for you. Don't die too easily. May triumph always be yours, Mydeimos.
Oh, right. One last question.
Go ahead. You better not leave any regrets behind.
Are you the one who told Cartonis about the signet ring?
Well... who knows?
Get up, my son. You showed great courage in today's training. Let's wrap it up for now.
Yes, Mother. Mother, there's something I want to ask you.
What is it, Mydeimos?
Why must we learn to fight?
It is for glory and honor, my son. For Kremnoans, mastery of swords and spears is ingrained from birth. And the battlefield is our destined end.
Is that really
the way it is, Mother?
What makes you say so?
Because you don't sound entirely sure.
You're right, Mydeimos. I once believed those words, without question. Until your father cast you into the Sea of Souls. It was at that moment I realized how everything I believed in was utterly hollow. Perhaps the spirit of Kremnos had once existed. But as greed bloomed in the hearts of humanity over the years, such spirit had long faded alongside our glory. I no longer put my faith in any oath or doctrine. Now I have just one role. That of your mother, Mydeimos. Your guardian.
That dream always ends there. The journey back to Castrum Kremnos is proving to be longer than expected. Kratos said that shortly after my fall into the sea, my mother challenged my father to a duel. She died through father's treachery, and I never saw her face. Yet each night she would show up, waiting by the flickering firelight. I always anticipated the sequel to that dream, believing she had more words of wisdom or guidance to offer. But now, I think I finally come to understand. That is all she wished to tell me. And now, I too am left with but one role. It is time for this journey to reach its end.
Look! Mydeimos is back!
Glory belongs to you!
We've got fresh pomegranate juice.
Welcome
Want to
back.
try some?
We meet again.
Welcome back!
Say, you're looking check out what I just wrote. Mydeimos! Did you just come back from training? May Nikador defend you!
It's
I'm gonna beat
been a
you
while.
at the festival.
Welcome home, Mydeimos. Have you found something